Hello, welcome back to another episode of Awakening with Soulspirational. I'm Tish, and as I'm taping this episode today, it is January 2nd, 2018. So whenever we get to like the end of the year or the beginning of the year, I like to do what I call a soul cleanse. And what we're doing is taking time to release things that we are still carrying with us from the previous year that no longer serve us. So what I'm going to do, in a regular episode, we just don't have the time to go through the whole process. Recently, we did this here in the center, and it was about an hour and a half long. So this is something I'm going to give you the basic steps on what you can do at home. You can write them down or come back and view this video later. If you have DVR recorded, or you can go to the website. My site is soulspirational.com. You can click on the TV episodes tab to get here, or go to WCTV's myvibeit.com and you can just look for the episode. But I'm going to give you the basic outline, kind of walk you through the process. And I'll do this for January, maybe February if there's time. But then what you can do is the steps that I give you, the outline that I'm sharing with you, you can go into a light state of meditation and do these steps for each of the months of the previous year and see how you're feeling at the end. Oftentimes people feel much lighter. They feel as though some burdens have been lifted from them. You can gain some great insight as to maybe certain lessons that need to be learned, or maybe you've learned them, but you're still carrying that mundane energy with you that all it's doing is weighing you down. It's taking up space where love energy could be, that you're just kind of holding on to some of the darks and the yuck that you just don't need anymore. So before we begin, there's a couple things that I would suggest. First, get pen and paper. What I like to do is I'll write down all the months of the year, so January through December. And then next to each month, I'll write down anything that I can remember from a particular month that may have happened. So, maybe you had a confrontation with somebody. Maybe you broke up with somebody. Maybe you got back together, then you broke up again. These things happening in different months. Write those different things down. As you're writing down different situations or people from each of the different months, I'm going to ask you not to dwell on those situations. This isn't about focusing in and feeling yucky. It's quite the opposite. It's simply taking notice of what we experienced within that particular month and what it is that we can release, again, to make more room for the good stuff. So write down everything from each of the months that you can remember. And if you don't remember something from half the months or most of the months, that's okay, because we're still going to state blanketly to pull up anything that no longer serves us from that particular month. So it's okay if you don't remember different things. Also, I'm going to ask for you to write down, once you do the months, write down what it is that your intentions are. Write down what your intentions are for 2018 in this case, or whenever you happen to be watching this video, for the year ahead. What do you intend to bring into your life? So it could be, I intend to share more love with the world. I intend to be more patient. What are your intentions? I intend to be healthier in this new year. So take a few moments, write down your intentions for the year before you. In that way, you can start the year off taking the time to really think about not only where you've been, but where you're headed. So write that, and it's nice too if you do the intention statement on a different sheet of paper, because then you can get rid of the one once you release from all the months. But carry the paper of intentions with you. Maybe put it in your purse or your wallet or your drawer. That way you can refer back to it from time to time throughout the course of the new year. So once you have all that down, I highly suggest doing some form of meditation first. So I have on episode 2, again, you can find that on my website or through myvibeit.com. Episode 2 will walk you through a connecting and grounding meditation. If you already have a particular meditation you use, that's wonderful. The purpose here is to get you to go inward, to just let go of all the distractions around you So find some time, maybe before bed or when you wake up in the morning where the house is quiet, where you can just take the time to go inward. This is also great to do while you're in the tub, because generally, hopefully, you're not interrupted in the tub, so you can take the time to really cleanse through. And then when you release the water at the end of the tub or at the end of your bath, you can just imagine all the energy just going down the drain and releasing it that way. So, okay, so you're going to write down everything from each of the months from the previous year, set your intentions for this year ahead, and get into some form of meditation. So with that, once you're in meditation, you can go ahead and walk along with me so you can get an idea of what this is going to be like. So let's go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you exhale, just allow your body to relax. When you're doing the visualization, this meditation, I would suggest keeping your eyes closed so you can really keep your attention and your focus inward. Now, as I'm doing this too, I like to perceive where my aura is. And I just imagine that the energy of my soul is kind of filling up the space of the aura. And you'll see what I mean here, how that will benefit here in a moment. So I'm going to ask for you to just imagine going back to January of the previous year, from the stroke of midnight to the very last second of January of the previous year. And you're simply going to state the intention that anything that no longer serves you to just surface. Just bring up so that you can see it or feel it. So now if you can perceive where your aura is, so you may see something from January, out here over to the side, or maybe even behind you in your lower back. Maybe it's down around your knees. That'll give you some great insight of, wow, I've been holding on to this situation. No wonder my knees have been hurting or my lower back has been hurting. You may see that there's some type of a connection there. So bring it up, and again, I'm going to ask for you not to dwell on it. But when you see something arise or you see different things arise, if it's something that feels more profound to you, simply ask, stop and ask. What is the lesson from this situation? So maybe, you had a confrontation with somebody. Is there a lesson to be learned there? Maybe you spoke some unkind words to somebody and you still feel really bad about it. So take a moment. Have you already corrected the behavior? If you have, give yourself forgiveness and just let it go. You don't need it any longer. But you may find that as you're doing this meditation that some of these situations, there's something much bigger there, a larger lesson to be learned. So take the time as you're in the moment and as you're asking what is the lesson, follow through, listen to whatever comes to mind of what you have learned or could learn from this particular situation. Now, maybe you're not sure what's coming up, you're not really seeing or hearing or feeling anything. It's okay, you've already set the intention. Anything from January of the previous year for the entire month has surfaced. So now what you can do is cleanse it. There's a couple different ways. You can imagine if you can perceive that you can see it around you, just pick it up, send it down into the earth, cleanse it, let it go, release it. The other thing that you can do, which I really love doing, is you can imagine that above you is this beautiful divine light. And what I do is I see it as like a waterfall of light, this beautiful flowing God's light energy just flowing right on through me. And I see it just flow through wherever, again, I perceive my aura to be. So anything that I am carrying from January of last year is just being flushed out. It's just being cleansed, carried away. I'm releasing it. It no longer serves me. Now, if there's something that there's still a lesson that you haven't learned, that is still yet to present itself, you may find that you can still see the energy of that there even after you've gone through that liquid light. because there's something larger. So something may be coming up to bring you that lesson or that insight, the knowledge, so then that you can release it. Otherwise, just state the intention that you are cleansing all that which no longer serves you from January of the previous year. Now, when we are engaged in different situations and with other people, it isn't uncommon for us to give up some of our power in particular moments. Where some people out there may be holding on to a piece of your energy from last January. So what you can do is state the intention that anybody who is holding on to any of my energy, I call back to me. So just call it back, call it back. You want your energy back now. If you see that it's energy that maybe isn't the most pleasant energy, you can either just give it right on up to God. Another thing that you can do is ask for healing from God to cleanse those parts of your energy and then bring them into you. Allow yourself to reintegrate that energy that other people have had during the last January. Bring it back. And when you bring that energy back to you, and I like to bring it back into my heart center and just allow it to flow through me, you may find that just by doing January, you start feeling a little more grounded or focused or centered. You may even feel a little bit more whole by doing this. So you're going to bring that energy back into your being. Once you do that, here's the thing, just like other people could be holding on to our energy, you could be holding on to other people's energy, which is also going to weigh you down. It isn't your energy. It doesn't belong with you. It doesn't mesh with you because it's not your energy. And we don't do these things purposely. They just kind of happen during interactions with other people, and especially when they're more emotionally charged. So just state the intention that anybody's energy that I'm holding on to from last January, I lovingly send it back to them. And we always say lovingly. It shows a spiritual maturity by being able to say, I lovingly send it back when it is going to somebody that, again, maybe you had a confrontation with. Maybe it wasn't a pleasant exchange, but you feel like you're still holding on to some of their energy. Send it back lovingly. It helps you to separate from it. It helps to depersonalize from it and just let it go. Send it back to them. And you can state the intention, like I'd cleanse that energy before they accept it. Whatever feels right for you, just send it back. It isn't yours, let it go. So now that you have done this, you have taken the time to cleanse the energy that no longer serves you from last January. You've cleansed, you've released. You can see that beautiful divine light just flow through, and you can do a final cleanse with that light. Just see that waterfall of light just flowing through all around. Again, wherever you perceive your aura to be, just let it flow through and cleanse out anything, any remnants from January of last year. Let it go. Especially if it isn't yours, if it doesn't serve you, why carry it around? Make room for the good stuff coming your way. So that I'm going to repeat this process for February. So once you've let go of January of last year, state the intention that you want to pull up anything that you're holding on to that no longer serves you from February, the entire month of last year. Let it surface. Look around. Scan your body. Where are you holding on to it? Where are you feeling it? Pull it up, release it, scoop in with your energy hands. You don't have to be a Reiki practitioner. We're all made of energy. So just scoop in. If you're feeling it in your chest, release it. Send it down into the earth. Look around. Maybe this February is causing you some hip pain, or you're feeling some pressure in the right hip, for example. Release it, scoop it, send it out. Ask for lessons. Are there lessons to be learned from these different situations? And if so, stay with it. What is the lesson here? And you may find, when you get over to your left foot, I can see the lesson in that. Maybe there's something else just kind of bouncing around here. What can I learn from this one? Take the time to really be with yourself, with your energy body, to see what you're carrying, how you're carrying it, what is the lesson. and then release it. State the intention, this no longer serves me. And especially when you can see the lesson in it, it makes it easier to release. So once you've done that, again, you can do the soul cleanse at this point, where you see that divine light with that liquid light just flowing through you, asking God's light to just flow through and cleanse everything from February of last year that no longer serves you. Get it off. Get it out of you. You don't need it. Lighten the load. Once you have done the cleansing, then state the intention that anybody's energy, or anybody who's holding on to my energy from February of last year, I want back. Bring it back to me. And again, you can see the energy being cleansed before you absorb it or reintegrate it. You can also just say, you know what, I don't really want that energy back. I just want to reclaim it, cleanse it, and just send it up to God, or just send it up and have God cleanse. So whatever feels right, however it feels right for you. So if you see your energy, you're pulling it back, you're cleansing it, and you can just stop it. You can just state the intention that before it comes back into my being, I want it to be cleansed with God's light. And then once it is so, just bring it back into your heart center. Just let it go and flow wherever it came from to begin with. Let it go back to its home. Let it reorient or resettle itself. Then once you do, again, you're going to state the intention that anybody's energy that I'm holding on to from last February, I lovingly send it back to them. It doesn't serve me. Again, I can still hold the good parts within my heart, but their energy, it isn't mine. I release it lovingly back to them. Again, you can state the intention that God can cleanse that energy before they accept it, whatever feels right for you. So once you have reclaimed your energy, you've sent back the energy that doesn't belong to you, that you've been carrying from others, do a final soul cleanse. See that light just flow through your aura, flow through your soul, through your physical being, just flushing out, cleansing, releasing anything that no longer serves you from February of last year. And then you can do the same thing with March and April, etc., till you get through the month of December. Then, once you know that you've released, cleansed, healed so many different pieces of your soul, and in fact, as you're going through the months, you can, maybe you see something needs deeper healing, ask God to help you heal this so that you may release it. So again, once you've cleansed, released, and healed these different places, give thanks to God. Give thanks, if you're somebody who calls in your angels, your guides, thank them. Whomever was present with you, thank them for the time, and take a moment to thank yourself for spending the time to do the soul cleanse. So now that you've cleansed all this stuff from 12 months that no longer serves you, now you're a more open vessel for the new year that we've just entered into. So this is the time where you can start setting your intentions for 2018. But first, I'm going to ask for you, when you're in this space, and at this point, when you're doing the entire year, you're really focused inward. So kind of look ahead from where you are. Look throughout January, February, March. Imagine that you're just looking through the calendar. What does it look like to you? Or what would you like to see within those first 3 months? And then take time to look at April, May, June. What do those months look like to you? Or what would you like to see on your path, on your journey in those months of this year, of this beautiful new year? And then you're going to do the same with July, August, September. And then October, November, December. Just push through, just look through. What do you see, or what do you want to see for those months? Take a moment to really focus out there. As you are looking ahead into the new year, as you are pushing through, looking ahead at all those months, as much as you can, try to really imagine these different things or feel them. So likewise, now you can go ahead and place your intentions. What is your intention statement or statements for this coming year? Is that I am sending more love out into the world? What does it feel like to send that for this year coming up? What does it look like to you? Do you want to be more patient? You want to be healthier? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Is you're imagining throughout this year. So when you get to December 31st of this year, what is it going to look and feel like, the accomplishments that you've made throughout the year? So when you take the time to do this, you're setting deeper intentions within your own soul, within your mind, your consciousness. And this is why it's great, like if you put your intention statements to the side, because you can refer to them as refreshers, whether it's daily or weekly, as a gentle reminder to you that that's right, this is what I was hoping for. These are my intention statements. And I like to follow up the intention with this or something better. Especially if you're asking, let's say, a new career, maybe you know where you really would like to a company you'd really like to work for. So if you say this or something better, because sometimes we can be so narrow-minded that we hone in so much here that we're not seeing that there's actually something better for us over here. So if we state this or something better, we have just widened our area to be able to receive. So as you're doing this, what I like to do is I bring my hands up in the bring it on pose. When our hands are up in the air like this, we are both surrendering, like I'm just letting it go. So anything that no longer serves me, I release. It's not mine. I'm letting it go. I'm lightening my soul. I'm lightening maybe certain burdens that I've been carrying with myself. And then while my arms and my hands are up, then I can say, bring it on, because now I'm also in the receiving position. Bring it on, and just you can imagine just these beautiful things that you're manifesting, or your intention statements. You're just bringing it into your being and feeling it, allowing it to be so. So to me, this is a great way to just release that stuff that you've been carrying. And you can go back to previous years. You can also do this at the end of each month. So what I just walked through for each month, just at the end of January, at the end of February, go back and release these things. It's still nice to do it even quarterly or every 6 months, and then definitely at the year, because even though you've cleansed some, as you're going through the process, let's say at the end of January, you just want to cleanse what no longer serves you from this month, there may be things that still need to play out yet. That you're not able to cleanse or to release yet. So if you revisit these months later on, quarterly, every 6 months or every year, then you can continuously, keep checking back and cleansing even that much more. So that, in a nutshell, is the yearly soul cleanse. I'm going to try to put on the entire guided meditation on YouTube. But in the meantime, I wanted you to have the tools, something that you can start doing, to start cleansing, to start releasing. So often we carry so much more with us than is necessary, and we feel more burdened, we feel more weighted down by the things that we're carrying with us. And you may notice that as you're doing this, some of it sometimes is rather silly. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm still carrying that with me. So just be open to the process. This is your soul, after all. So do what feels right for you. Change the words around to whatever feels right for you. These are just simple guidelines. This is what I do to help release the stuff from the past that I have carried. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's episode. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is info@soulspirational.com. You can visit my website, soulspirational.com. You can go to my Vibit for the episodes. And if you're interested in maybe joining some more of these type of guided meditations, you can also find us on meetup.com, the social site, meetup.com, and just search for Soulspirational Wellness in Wadsworth, Ohio. And then you can just kind of keep an eye on the different classes. If you join, you'll be notified whenever I put out a new class. So if you want to join us in the different guided meditations for these types of soul cleanses, or whatever the guided meditations may be, come out and join us sometime. We'd love to have you. So since it is January 2nd, 2018, I wish you all a blessed and wonderful new year ahead. May all of your wishes come true, that or something better. So until next time, thank you, be well, and namaste.